Alright, this video's repairing an NES cartridge, old school NES. So if you're having trouble with your game playing, get the white screen, get bad pixelation, the blinking light. Alright, so here's what I'm showing what you need. If the plastic's broken inside, and I'll show you later, this is what I used to repair mine. It worked great. So this is from DAP. I have the camera's having trouble focusing there, but the tool, it said 3.8 and it's a star bit, but it's designed to go like an outside star bit, not an inside star bit. So I bought these off Amazon. They came in a set of two. There's a 3.8 and a 4.5, and they're a 6-point star, and there's just 3 screws on the back of every cartridge you unscrew. There's 2 tabs at the top that you just kind of shimmy out after you get the screws out. Screws are really small, so be on a flat work surface and don't lose them. I think the tool's magnetic here since it's holding that on there. So that's the screw, tiny little screw. And then simply it pulls apart. And there's a little motherboard inside of here with chips soldered into it. So make sure you have your motherboard facing the right direction. So remember when you open it, which direction that's facing, and reinstall it the same way. So, and that was actually a different game. I went back. I did this over the winter time when I was bored. So you can see here how dirty this has gotten. So see, like all those, you need all those little metal connections inside the machine for all the things that are going on in there. And this really, it's just really, it's dirt. I don't think it's a lot of corrosion. The metal shouldn't corrode necessarily, but you need to get those cleaned up, so that's all I'm doing. So I've got a bowl with a tiny bit of acetone, nail polish remover in other words, and a 1500 grit sandpaper. So it's like nothing. It's not even rough to the touch. It's like just 1500 grit. It's very fine, and I'm using the acetone as a cleaner, but more of a lubricant as I'm taking this over. I don't want to just take off the metal. I want to clean the metal, so I want to keep it kind of wet, not crazy wet, just enough to lubricate as I'm applying gentle pressure. It's in my hand here, so as much pressure as I can apply while holding it delicately with one hand. I'm just figuring out the best way to hit it. Little circles, maybe a little back and forth, side by side. Whatever you got to do to, clean it up. So I'm going to clean half of this, and then I'll try to show you what it looks like where one side's clean, the other one's not. So when it's cleaned up, it's real nice, it's real reflective. There's no black on it. Mine probably looks different than yours. I had, when I was a kid, there was actually places that worked on these, right? So to help out, if you remember, you blow on it. Well, really all you're doing is repositioning it. Blowing on it did nothing. But yeah, this guy actually tightened up where the cartridge goes inside of my NES. So when I put mine in, you actually have to use some force, and I think that's why. But other people have had this happen too. Inside, the plastic was actually broken. So where that motherboard sits, if you push on it hard enough, you can actually break the plastic, and that's what happened to my game. This game did not work at all. I took it apart, so now I'm showing, see, the left side's dark, the right side's polished up nice. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. So this is working out really well. This is my first go at this. And if you stay tuned for the whole video, you'll see at the end how well it did work. Literally, I put this in the machine and it worked the first time perfectly. It was like, wow. I did this to other games too. Games that I had gotten that white gray screen of death, going back to the 90s or whatever I last picked it up. I did this with another game that I hadn't played in forever, and it right off, perfect play. So if you have old NES games and you want to refresh them, this is your ticket. Little acetone, 1500 grit sandpaper. Clean up these connections. Yeah, the acetone's a strong smelling chemical. I mean, it's in a paper bowl here. It's not eating the paper bowl, and don't have a lot of it either. But I mean, it is flammable, so be careful. I mean, I don't think you want to be smoking a cigarette while you're doing this or something, but especially if you're inside. But yeah, so prior to this, when you shook the cartridge, you could hear something inside of it, and it was like, okay, that's probably not good. But all it was a little piece of plastic that held the motherboard in there, and I'll point to it later. And that's what the shaking and rattling was. So I just used that DAP product, reattached it. So now I'm testing it right there, actually, where that thing was glued on, and it set up pretty quickly. I did it right before I started doing this. I didn't get it on video though, but that's what that little. So right there, like that T, the L, that little piece just broke off, and then it shakes around. So when that breaks, you can never get it to sit in there. I mean, you could, but I mean, it's going to push backward against you. And so now I'm going to let this air dry. I'm just using an old T-shirt there to dry it up and a paper towel. And this, literally, I put it in. I was so excited.
Here we go. Perfect view.
Here we go. Yeah.
Perfect view. No pixelations or anything weird.
No. I don't know how many hours I have. So, wow, this is my favorite game.
Tecmo Super Bowl.
This is the famous Bo Jackson game.
Look at this. Excellent. Wow, I'm gonna have to remember the keys.
So that's it. I hope this helps. I hope you
go.
get to use this and you watch to the end and
Well,
subscribe.
there
Thank
we
you.
are. Game on.